It's a Red Kingdom Media Friday, and we're chatting about rookie camp, Chiefs in Brazil, and give our top 3 barbecue joints in KC. All this next on Gridiron Gambit.
Welcome, Chiefs Kingdom. Thanks for tuning in to this Red Kingdom Media production, bringing you raw, authentic Chiefs coverage. Make sure to like and subscribe to stay up to date on your team. Now sit back and enjoy the show.
Let's work. Hey.
Hello, everybody. Welcome again to this Red Kingdom Friday edition of Gridiron Gambit. We are your co-hosts for this evening's show, Clinton and Dre. Dre, how are you? How you doing, bro?
Man, I'm good, man. I'm ready to talk some football, man. Work week's over, so I'm ready to go, man.
Facts, dude. Ready to zone out on sports for the next 48 hours or longer. We're kind of counting down this off season. Now that the draft is over, it's gonna feel like a real dead zone for NFL stuff. But us sports junkies, we got something else to jump on. We got the NBA playoffs. We got the NHL playoffs. We just got some other MLB. The Royals playing right now. We go on and on. But
Royals look good right now, man.
Hey, let's hope they can stay that way. All of a sudden, the AL Central is like one of the best divisions. Like if you could just play against Baltimore a bunch of times, and Chicago
would be good, or Chicago White Sox. Yeah,
that's right. The White Sox just want to have a permanent residency in Kaufman this year. They would love that extra wins. But let's go ahead and officially start the show and kick off with our first topic, which is what I'm calling the rookie camp standouts. The Kansas City Chiefs this past weekend completed their voluntary rookie mini camps. And like I said, it's going to feel like a long break, basically the end of May, before we get to see Chiefs uniforms on the practice field and, more than likely hear from Clark Hunt or Andy Reid again. So I don't know how much of the rookie mini camps you were following last weekend, but however much you were, who stood out in your mind, and who are you kind of excited to see progress through this crop of rookies?
From what I read, I heard that, granted, nobody's in pass or anything like that, and it's pretty much a lot of passing through minicamp. But I heard that Ashton, was it Gelati?
Yeah, I think it's the Italian pronunciation.
Yeah. They said he was impressive. They said he actually showed a lot of speed. He had opposing players nervous, had them a little twitchy a little bit. Same with Omar. He was getting in the backfield as well. I also heard that Jalen Royals, he struggled a little bit on the first day one, but the next two, they said he did pretty good. So that's from what I'm hearing. But it's two really standouts that I keep hearing about, and I think they're going to be big factors going into next season. It could be sleepers, which is the tight end out of Clemson, Jake Brenningstool. They said he did pretty good. He had a couple of highlight plays during camp. And Elijah Badger, I'm a fan. I watched some film of his out of Florida, and I think he might be a favorite of Pat's going into this season if he has a nice training camp. If he can, yeah, I think he's gonna be a Pat favorite because he can stretch the field a little bit with his route running, and and he's 6'1", so. Yeah, I'm excited for Badger, and I'm excited for Brenningstool for sure.
All right, that gave me a lot to take in there. For me, couple names you said that stand out to me as well. Ashton Gelati, a lot of people are kind of they love the draft, but I think they're just kind of upset with where certain players were selected. Like I think if Norman Lott was like a 5th round pick and Royals was a
I'll be
3rd
okay.
round pick and Gelati was the 2nd round pick, you'd be like, oh man, this draft was fantastic.
Steals in the draft.
Absolutely. But like I like what I'm seeing out of Gelati, and I think he's the prototypical Spags defensive end, but I think he's got like qualities about him that, you know, the Chiefs have been looking for. A quick burst, some bend. You know, those are some things that, you know, it can happen a little bit for the Chiefs, but it's not what Spagnuolo is normally looking for. So if he can kind of flash those traits out a little more before the veterans come in, you know, that'd be nice. You know, the defensive line just needed some juice going into this year, and I think they're set to get it in some way, some form. I think their defense is going to have a jolt of something. They might not have the longevity because they don't have the veteran presence as much on the defensive line, but I think the rookies there are set to kind of flash some speed. And with how the college football landscape has changed, it's a lot easier to transition into the NFL in certain spots. And I think, you know, rushing the passer and running the ball are two, and pass catching especially, are 3 areas that lend very well to the NFL. And then, you know, things like offensive line, quarterback play, or cornerback play, things like that may take an adjustment based on the skill set that you're facing. So on top of that, a name you also threw out that I'm going to also piggyback on because I already said it. Jalen Royals, he didn't maybe look as great to start, but the fact that he's getting all these reps early on in rookie camp, and that's, you know, not so much with Patrick Mahomes, you know, that's going to be great going into the season. And it's clear that, you know, despite being Utah State, you know, Sky Moore being Western Michigan, Jalen Royals had a lot more production and flashed a lot more in college, and the Chiefs are willing to rely on those players early on, and then maybe give leniency and slow progression some other players who it doesn't as translate as well. But I really liked the fact that the Chiefs know that maybe Royals is that type of playmaker that can be sneaky, and, you know, we said, oh, maybe he's like the 5th wide receiver. A lot of people think he could inch up to number 4 based on how well he plays in these training camps. So if that's the case, then we know that he's really something special. And, you know, he could be number 3 or number 4 in this offense and actually produce numbers, not, you know, the case of last year having, I think, 10 or so players have 300 scrimmage yards, and one of those players is Patrick Mahomes. You know, that's fantastic, Patrick Mahomes. But, you know, he wants to dish out tons of passing yards and touchdowns and all that. And Jalen Royals, I think, could potentially give the Chiefs a playmaking option there. And then one guy that you did not mention, so I got to go ahead and throw him out here as well, is Rashard Smith. Did not see as much, you know, of him running the ball, but it's clear the Chiefs have a lot of faith in his pass catching ability because they featured tons of plays regarding that. So, you know, a wide receiver convert to running back, but really good in special teams. You know, that's a player that Andy Reid can mold and utilize to the best of his ability. And, you know, like I said, I'm just waiting to see him kind of run the ball a little bit, because if he can combine that Pacheco, you know, break a few tackles running style, along with his just pure sideline speed, and the fact that the Chiefs like to run outside zones, not as much, you know, power runs inside like we think they should, or with Kareem Hunt and Pacheco lead the best group. But, you know, I think Smith could be a guy that has that outburst speed that can take him inside or outside zone and get positive yards, where last year it really didn't feel like the Chiefs could get anything. You know, if it was a dead play, it was going backwards or 0 yards. It wasn't, you know, fight for a modest second down. So I think if Rashard can can make an impact there, that alone may be kind of the sleeper addition to the Chiefs offense that was needed to just have that overall running back that, Sean Payton has remarked the Broncos need, a player type that he had in New Orleans, that you can just go out and catch a pass and whatever scenario, just be reliable to pick up a clutch first down when it's necessary.
Yeah, like Sean Payton used players like Reggie Bush and stuff like that. So you mentioned Pacheco before I say what I got to say. Shout out to Pacheco for going back to school and getting his degree, graduated the other day. So shout out to Pacheco for that. I did read that Jalen Royals, I didn't know that he ran his 40 on a hurt ankle. So some people are saying that he's faster than what he is, than what his 40 is. A lot of people, because I was on X earlier, and a lot of people, they're having a topic of like who Jalen Royals reminds people of and stuff like that. It was actually Brad Henson Productions. He does a lot of Kansas City streams. He does a lot of Kansas City edits and for Chiefs and the Royals and stuff like that. But a lot of people on there were saying like Jamar Chase, Jalen Rose reminds him of them. Rashee Rice. I personally think that's what when we drafted him, I was like, he reminds me of a Rashee Rice. So I think having two Rashee Rices on the football field, just in case something happens with Rashee Rice as far as this legal stuff goes, we still have a guy that can step in and do the things that Rice does. So yeah, but I did read that Brashad Smith, because you mentioned him. They said he looked like the fastest guy on the football field all 3 days. So I think he's going to be used a lot in special teams with him and Nico this season.
All right, special teams may be the spot to make the impact first, but
yes,
we said those defensive linemen, I think that they can make impact right away, not necessarily have a lot of pressure or responsibilities placed on them, but just given like, hey, go out there and have fun. Show us your natural pass rushing ability. That's what you guys flourished in and flashed in college. So show us that you translate that same ability into the NFL. If you can pass rush, we can make room for you.
Yes. Chiefs fans, again, I will say the name again, Elijah Badger.
Yes. I forgot to respond to him. I believe Lonnie is also a fan of his as well. 0 drops.
6'1", 192 pounds.
That's what really sold him. 0 drops in college. But then I remarked, well, D-Hop had no drops coming here, and then we give you the curse of drops in some way. Or a Mahomes pass just has a bit too much spin to it that fingers just can't stand. So, and I think at this point we've got nearly a 2-week, almost 3 weeks till the next phase of voluntary OTAs. So it's going to be kind of a hibernation for a while in terms of getting to see these Chiefs players and doing something on the field. So any final thoughts about what the rookie mini camps look like for you?
No, man, I'm ready for training camp at this point, man. I'm ready to see it, man. I'm honestly ready for football season. I still got a sour taste in my mouth, man, after the Super Bowl, man. So I'm just ready to get to the new season. Training camp basically is the start of the new season for me. I know a lot of people, it's free agency and all that other stuff like that, but an NFL draft. But when training camp comes, when I see the videos of Pat and the veterans and the other players walking in up to St. Joe to the dorms and stuff, that's how I know football's around the corner and we're like a month away. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait.
Me neither. Probably a month and a half from now, real Chiefs fans can step on a field and see the Chiefs do something.
Absolutely.
Myself, I love going out there to training camp, just getting a glance of it. So
I've never been to St. Joe for camp. I gotta go. My work schedule has cleared up to where I can go on Saturdays now, man. So I'm gonna have to go on a Saturday or something.
you're gonna have some vlog responsibilities then, because that's a staple we do here. If you go, you gotta broadcast your experience.
I'm with it, man.
Footage and narrate it all. So, I can't wait to give you guys some extra content. We've got a live stream coming up next week for the schedule release. We'll officially know the Chiefs' schedule. Give some win-loss predictions throughout the year. So stay tuned for that next week. But before we move on to our next topic,
make sure to like and subscribe. Follow us on all our social media platforms at Red Kingdom Media. Please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Leave a like or comment so we can reply and interact with you and make you a part of the show. If you listen to us on Spotify, please rate us 5 stars so we can increase our reach in the playlist. Follow us and all our contributors on all the social media platforms: TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and X. If you'd like to come on and talk Chiefs, message us so we can potentially set that up. Do you enjoy written content? Subscribe to our Substack. We have both a free and a $5 a month subscription and post on there frequently. And if you have any interest in being a contributor on the writing staff, feel free to reach out and we'll be in touch. It would help support the brand if you would purchase our merch, like the shirt that I'm wearing currently. Set up an order for one of these or 2 or 3, and this will allow us to expand our inventory options. Thanks for being a part of this channel, and if there's any partner that's listening to this interested in sponsoring the show or any other content that we produce, please reach out. Now, back to the show.
and I hyped up schedule release and finding out what the schedule for the Chiefs are. So it's been rumored the Chiefs Chargers Brazil. It's been rumored, if not confirmed, last month, I think, that the Kansas City is rumored to be beginning week 1 of the 2025 regular season against the Chargers in São Paulo, Brazil. So if that is indeed the case, what are your thoughts on that?
I mean, I get it. The NFL is trying to expand globally, worldwide. I mean, it's already popular everywhere. One of the most popular sports in the world, actually. And you kind of want to use your face of the league. Basically, I would kind of say somewhat America's new team, with the viewerships and as many primetime games as they've gotten. Why not put Pat over there? I hope it's not a home game, considered a home game for the Chiefs, because it kind of takes away from the home games here in Kansas City. So it's nothing like Arrowhead. So I'm all for it. We get the Chargers, we get them out the way. They're going to be a tough team this year. Harbaugh is a pretty good coach, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people actually got the Chargers winning the AFC West this year. So that'll be a good test for us going in to start the season, honestly. So we typically play the Chargers early on in the season, whether it's a Thursday night game or maybe it could be like a home opener or something like that. But I'm all for it though. Just not let it be. Give it to the Chargers as a home game. Let it be their home game. I want the home games here in Kansas City.
Well, the Chiefs have a pretty good record when they play internationally. Since 2015, the Chiefs are 3-0. Back in 2015 against the Lions in London. And in 2019, when the Chiefs actually did play a game in Mexico against the Chargers instead of 2018 when they didn't play in Mexico against the Rams. That's another story. And then, of course, in 2023, the Chiefs got their revenge on Tyreek Hill and beat the Miami Dolphins in Germany. So, a 2-year gap this time. Before that, the Chiefs only were going every 4 years, pretty much that mandatory, unless you're the Jacksonville / London Jaguars. Yankee wires. You have to just have a permanent stay overseas across the pond, mate.
Yeah.
But it's obvious that the NFL wants to bring the highest franchises over. Last year Brazil they had Green Bay and Philadelphia Eagles. So it's good to have the AFC matchup, and if we're going to throw an AFC West matchup out there early, like I said in a previous episode, the Chiefs love to show out for AFC West games. So if you want to kick off the season with an AFC West game and give Andy Reid the chance to fireworks and do it in Brazil, I'm all for that. I think we would see the numbers, the Rams game type numbers. I want to see a shootout. And I think it would go against the Chargers, if I'm not mistaken, for it to be. Okay. I think so. It would be an away game.
Good.
Germany 2 years ago, it was a home game, so that game was taken off of my games to go to. But I'm not complaining because the Chiefs are a higher brand; they get more money. So.
Yeah, when it comes to those games, I remember when they first started discussing teams giving up home games to go overseas and stuff like that to basically put your bid in to host Super Bowls. As long as we got the Chiefs at Arrowhead Stadium with no roof and no retractable roof or anything like that, we will not be hosting any Super Bowls. So I don't like us giving away home games, man. So I'm all for it as far as playing overseas, but don't take our home games away, man. But yeah, I'm okay with playing the Chargers. I don't think it like you said you think it was going to be the same the Rams type numbers or anything. I don't think that's going to be possible with the way Harbaugh he runs his teams. His teams are pretty much pass first, but I mean not pass first, but run first. But I did just see a quote from him the other day. Well, actually, it was today. He said something about he had woke up and he asked himself. He said I got to get Justin Herbert in the Hall of Fame. So I don't know, man. So I don't know. I'm excited. I'm excited for it. I hope if we do play the Chargers first week in Brazil, then hey, whatever. I'm good. I'm all for it. But for first week games, I think the NFL should get back to this. Well, I don't think it ever existed. I think it's a good idea though. The Chiefs week one, the two previous Super Bowl teams, I think that they should play week one. I think they should. Granted, we have Philly here in Kansas City this year, but I feel like just imagine Kansas City. I think that a lot of fire in the Kansas City just going to Philadelphia and seeing Philadelphia get their rings and drop their banner in Kansas City on a Thursday night or a Sunday night or a Monday night game. And I think the NFL should do that, man. I would be all for that. Just to we lost, but we got to go there. We got to watch them drop their banner and get their rings and stuff like that. I like that. That's TV. That's the ratings will be through the roof, right? To me, in my opinion. So I think the NFL should do that.
I mean, yeah, and you're someone who sees like the emotional side of things. I think there was almost a report that like playoff teams, instead of like immediately lower seeds playing the higher seeds, the higher seeds we get to choose. I want to play against this team. I don't want to play against this team. I want to play against that team. I think I can beat them easier. So that becomes like a psychological thing. If that was the case. Do you think the more talking point for this week one game is the fact that it is Chiefs versus Chargers, or is it the fact that the Chiefs are in Brazil? Do you think people are just kind of sweeping it's a Chargers game under the rug about it?
No, I think it's just Chiefs versus Chargers. It's Harbaugh versus Andy Reid. And like I said, people actually have the Chargers winning the AFC West this year. So I think the AFC West is going to be real competitive. We got some veteran coaches, some Super Bowl winning coaches outside of Harbaugh as a head coach. But you got Pete Carroll, former Super Bowl champion. You got Sean Payton, a Super Bowl champion. And you got Andy Reid, a 3-time Super Bowl champion. So I think the AFC West is going to be tough. So I think all our AFC West games are going to be good for TV this upcoming season. So
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And the Chiefs really get up for AFC West games, unless it's Christmas and the Raiders want to just.
Pat don't really lose to the AFC West like that, man. So I don't know. That's
the message that Andy Reid always says. Hey, if you want to make it to the playoffs, we got to win the AFC West. We got to win the division.
Yeah.
We got to win the division. That's always been their thing. So even when they were kind of bottomed out in the AFC, they still found a way to win their division.
Absolutely.
The Super Bowl. So, and I wanted to respond before I forgot. The last two banner drops, Chiefs dropped it on the Lions, and the Lions got revenge on us that night, but did not do well once they made it into the playoffs. And then last year,
that's okay though.
And last year it was the Chiefs dropping it on Baltimore, saying, "Haha, we beat you in the championship, so then we won it in the Super Bowl too." So it's basically the team that wins the Super Bowl that gets the globe.
Yeah, but I just feel like that losing team, because you fought all year long to get to the Super Bowl and then you lost. Especially us, we got to the Super Bowl and got embarrassed the way we lost. You put them in Philly, and it's Andy Reid's old stomping grounds too. You put them in Philly, Pat Mahomes and them on the road, start the season out, seeing Philly get their rings, drop their banners. The crowd is hype. It's prime time. Why not, man? I get your popcorn. I tell you, if I was making the schedule, I'd make it happen. Honestly, I'll do it.
Yeah, I mean it makes sense. I mean the only problem is based on like past years, you might not be able to do the exact same thing of send the Chiefs to Philadelphia for a game.
Yeah.
If the Super Bowl was repeated time after time, you couldn't always just put that same game in the same slot because.
Well, yeah.
But
it's not often that you get the same Super Bowl over and over again. I get it.
I mean,
like the 49ers
over the last 10 years, or honestly, over the last 6 years, the Chiefs have played the same teams twice in the Super Bowl. So,
yeah, you're right.
But I'm saying I'd be in favor for that because I do love some extra drama in games, and I understand the.
It's all about ratings, man. What Pat say? It's all about the ratings, man. It's all about the ratings.
Thanks. So any final thoughts about projecting week 1, 4 months before we're even in the same stratosphere of that game?
No, man, I'm if it's the Chargers in Brazil, then let it be the Chargers in Brazil, man. I'm all for it, man. It's a division, it's a rivalry. I mean, not really. I mean, the Chargers haven't really but I mean they gotta win something at some point in time, man. So I mean, they're just there. They're in the division, I guess. So, hey, I guess I'm all for it.
They got to show competitiveness in some way.
Their trophy case is empty, man.
Yeah. Same as the other ones recently. And at least the Raiders and Broncos can point to their past trophy case. The Chargers were just 0-1, having only made it once. So. We'll stop hyping up Chargers talk. So, honestly, our last topic somehow, in my mind, is the most controversial of the ones that we're discussing today. I don't know how you can say that, but I just know we're going to either make people love us or make people hate us. But we're talking about Kansas City BBQ Hotspots. Okay, we're going there. Chiefs channel, but KC BBQ, baby. That's what we're all about. So you brought it up to me that in a poll regarding best barbecue in America that Kansas City only ranks number 3 behind 2 Texas cities. While we may not agree with that, we will accept the ratings of right now, and now we will counterpoint. And you and I are going to go back to back here, and we're going to list our top 3 Kansas City barbecue places in Kansas City. And once we have reached our number 1, then if we want to throw out some honorable mentions, because we know someone's going to be upset if they don't hear their favorite name thrown out in this segment, we can appease those people. So, Dre, kick us off. What is your number 3 best Kansas City barbecue spot?
Number 3, it's definitely Joe's Oklahoma, original Oklahoma Joe's, but I like Joe's KC. It's Joe's is number 3 in my opinion out of Kansas City. I gotta go with Joe's, man. The Z Man.
That's a hella good sandwich, and that's why I will not be saying too much about Joe's. The counterpoint right now.
That's why we're talking barbecue, man, because Kansas City, the Chiefs are known for their tailgating. That's the main. And for us to be number 3 behind 2 cities in Texas that have whatever, they have the Cowboys, and I don't even think they can tailgate in Dallas at Jerry's World, and I don't even think you can really tailgate in Houston. So, yeah, I don't know. Kansas City's known for their tailgating, man. You can smell the barbecue down I-70, man. So I don't know, but yeah, back to my number 3 is Joe's barbecue.
Okay, and my number 3 is going to be Q39, and I'm not saying like because of we're actually like apples to apples here comparisons. But I'm just going to slot Q39 number 3. I think it's a solid one, a little more upscale, I guess, than what you consider barbecue, and that's why it's my number 3.
I mean, it's a fair. A lot of people like Q39. I had Q39 one time. No, I had Q39 twice, and I wasn't a fan either time. You get one time, and then I tried the second time, and then yeah, man, I'm good.
Hey, and I'll upset some people right now. And it may be on your list, so I won't even do it.
You better not say it. You better not say it.
So I won't even go there yet. So Q39 is my number 3. Obviously, I think there's a couple better ones for me in my mind, but I think for the most part, if you go there, you can find some to be satisfied. And like I said, it's more of a sit-down type of barbecue joint versus the go up to a counter and that type. So it's got that different flair, which is why I have it as my number 3. So, Dre, who's your number 2?
My number 2 is Ollie Gates, man. Shout out to Gates Barbecue. You might get yelled at when you go in there, but you got to be prepared when you go in there, or they're gonna make you forget that you ordered what you came in there for, because you get nervous when they start yelling at you, man. So, but I love Gates. I love the mixed plates. I love the fries. You can't go wrong with Gates, man. I'd have been to every Gates in Kansas City. I love Gates Barbecue. A lot of people say that Gates slacked off, fell off, or whatever the case may be over the years, but it tastes the same to me, man. And I've been eating Gates since I was a kid, man. I'm 35, man. So I love Gates. Gates is definitely number 2 in Kansas City, in my opinion.
All right, that's a respectable choice. There's probably list all the ones that are notable. So you got to hit, arguably one of the older, more
absolutely
established ones. My number 2 is also Joe's KC. A Z-Man or a Rocket Pig, just straight up meat by the pound. You can't go wrong. They're, I think, my number 1 or number 2 barbecue sauce out of all the places for me, at least my taste buds. Number 1 may or may not have the barbecue sauce nudge as well, but you already hyped it up. Joe's, great place, great locations. Good food. They're just some of these local barbecue places are finally starting to get inserted within the Kansas City sports teams. I believe it's the Royals that have officially a Z-Man in Kauffman Stadium now.
Yes,
So
they do.
shout out to the people who can get that. Hopefully not as marked up as my brain is thinking of being in
You're gonna pay.
Royal
You're gonna play
Stadium.
pretty for that.
Getting that air mark sticker right there. But Joe's a staple in my mind. It's one of my go-tos frequently. So,
But which one though? Which Joe's though? Which one do you go to?
if I can make it out to the original gas station location, I will.
That line be long, man.
But sometimes it's more convenient to just go over to Lenexa, and that's not those. I'm just like, it's just easier to, if you want to get a couple more on the Missouri side, that'd be cool. Like, support the state that I'm in. But for the most part, everything just getting shoved into Kansas. Hopefully the Royals and Chiefs are not next to with that sentiment, but
that's probably happening.
Bummer. Yeah, we won't go there right now. All right. So, number one.
Number one. A lot of people they look at me crazy when I say it. I mean, it's not a lot of people look at me crazy when I say it, but to me, it's Jack Stacks.
Jack Stacks is my number one.
Yes, Jack Stack Barbecue is my favorite one. It's one close to my house. I either go there on my birthday or I go there on Father's Day. Yes, Jack Stacks. I love the fire kiss wings. I love the baked beans. To me, they're the best. They're the best barbecue in Kansas City. Yes,
absolutely. Great sides, great fries. The meat you cannot go wrong.
Never had a bad experience in Jack Stacks.
Facts. I also have one really close to my house, and that doesn't play into as much. A lot of these, as Kansas City locals, we get the benefit of just going to our local grocery stores a lot of times, and there's like 5 or 6 options from each of the places that we've talked about, and some other ones that are sleepers for other people. And Jack Stack is one that I could confidently get in a refrigerated state, straight from the restaurant, and it tastes and it tastes the same. It tastes good no matter what. So that reliability, that stability for me, I like the sauces. That just kind of threw it to me for number one, and that's why they've got my heart for right now. So, you got a few honorable mentions?
Yes, I have 3 honorable mentions actually. I have Slaps and KCK. Slaps Barbecue is pretty good. The burnt ends are pretty good. Another one, you don't really hear people talk too much about. It's on the Missouri side. BB's Lawn Side Barbecue. I like their smoked wings. They're pretty good. And then you have one off Call Drive. I think it's K32 or Call Drive and KCK. It's called Jones Barbecue. It's ran by 2 sisters.
Yes.
The thing is they close at 3:00, so I can never get there because I'm always at work and I work out south, so I can never get there. But I want to try that place. I've never tried it, but so they're a place they're on my list of places to try as far as barbecue goes.
Okay, since you threw them out there, I have not partaken in their food, but their barbecue sauce, their hot and spicy barbecue sauce, I believe is actually our number one barbecue sauce in stores. Can't always find it or always get it everywhere, so that's why Jack Stack a lot gets pushed up that front. But since you threw that name out there, you just clicked in my brain. Oh yeah, that is like the number one barbecue sauce that we've had so far.
It's ran by 2 sisters, man. Deborah and Mary. That's what Deborah and Mary Jones, man. I gotta try their barbecue, and I'll probably try it at some point this summer. I get a Saturday off or something, and I'll go out to KCK and try them out. My old stomping grounds.
Okay, so now since you gave your honorable mentions, now you can give, I guess, your dishonorable mentions. If you want to make somebody mad or two.
A lot of people hype up LCs. I'm not a fan of LCs. I had it one time, and I haven't been back. There's no disrespect to LCs or anything like that. I know a lot of people, everybody's taste buds are different, but a lot of people hype up LCs as like one of those top tier barbecue places in KC, and I've just never been a fan. Just after that one time, I don't want to go back. Arthur Bryant's, yes. I had them. They used to be out in KCK. I never had the one in Missouri, but I did have the one in KCK. They're not that bad, but yeah, those are probably the two that a lot of people hype up that I'm not a fan of. I know Obama, he loved a lot of people when they come to Kansas City, they go to Arthur Bryant's.
Yeah, I mean, I understand it's got history, like you mentioned with Gates, but I just don't think, for me, like you said, taste bud wise, it's quite what I'm looking for when I go to a barbecue place. And,
right.
You know, Zarda is another place that people have up on either on the list of places they really like, or they're just like, why does this place exist? I guess why is it connected to sports teams so much?
Zarda, I mean, it's Zarda's out in Lenexa. I've had it a couple times. It's not bad. It's not bad.
I mean, yeah, which I guess is a compliment to a lot of places we're saying is like the worst things we have to say about them is that they weren't the best.
Yeah.
I mean, the food was still good, but when you got, world famous over here, world famous down the street, you have to stand out. And that's why we've had our top three, because we've gone to enough and had something distinct about them that kept us going back. It's
if you never had
a place on our list one time.
If you never had Slaps Barbecue, you should try them. They're in KCK.
I'll shout out Chef J Barbecue as well, because they're around here, and they just got a couple of food items in Arrowhead Stadium, and I've had me a sandwich and some whole pork mac and cheese me a couple times last season. So
yeah, they're definitely on the list of top barbecue places in Kansas City. I've never had them before though.
Maybe at some point we'd have to do a Red Kingdom meetup and just kind of stop at all the locations to just give our instant reactions to everything. Don't know.
We gotta get Dale here in Kansas City, man.
Hey,
that's what we gotta do.
If you're watching this right now on this Friday edition of Gridiron Gambit, Dre is calling you out. We got to go out for barbecue later tonight. So
we got to get him to Kansas City.
All right. Well, that was fun chatting about something other than Chiefs. Like you said, Kansas City tailgate barbecue. It's kind of ingrained in our DNA.
Absolutely.
So it was a fun topic to kick us off into the weekend. Any final things you want to let the people know about before we close?
Nah, man. Thanks for following, man, and thanks for watching. And yeah, man. Go Chiefs. We're getting closer to that time, man, and I can't wait.
Hey, you already said it better than I could. Hope you all have a great weekend. And as always, go Chiefs.
Thanks for checking out this update straight from the heart of Chiefs Kingdom. We appreciate your passion, so please leave a like and follow us wherever you tune in from. See you next tailgate, your trusted source for all things Chiefs, Red Kingdom Media.